Yo, what is up, guys? How are we doing? Did you miss me? Because I missed you guys. It's felt weird not painting for 3 days, but hopefully we finish off the Sword Strike Gundam that we'd been working on prior to PAX. Dude, PAX was sick. PAX was really, really good. It's so fun teaching people to paint. Like, it really is. And we taught a lot of people. Well, a lot of people just jumped right in. We didn't have to really teach them anything. We just sort of gave them a bit of guidance. But yeah, watching people paint their first miniature and then like seeing the results and how excited they were, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. We gave away a bunch of our business cards that had the ticket sales on them. So hopefully it equates to a few ticket sales to some paint classes. But ultimately, I hope it means people continue painting miniatures, even if it's not with us or if they just join me on stream, you know. I changed my mind on the color of this edge highlight. I'll get a glove on because I want to put a glove on to film this. But prior to this, I had started edge highlighting that light blue for the sword pack. I think that's what it's called. Striker pack, sword striker pack. So we're going to continue with this because this is all we've got left on the Sword Strike Gundam, is highlighting the blue on the sword and doing the plasma glow. So we'll probably get into the plasma glow tonight as well. Just film this little bit for the tutorial. So we're going to mix together Hoeth blue and Fenrisian blue in a 1-to-1 ratio and apply a thick edge highlight. Not as thick as what I just had on the brush there because that's a bit crazy. That's better. That sort of thickness right there. Blester, how we doing, man? How we doing? How have your 3 days been without me? Probably pretty good, I imagine. None of your friends were going and a bunch of builds? Yeah, no, it makes sense, man. Makes sense. And honestly, you can drop by the studio and hang out anytime you want anyway, so. This is a little bit too diluted, but we're still going to run with it. Not due to my absence. You're too kind, Blester, you're too kind. If there is someone that is, well, saw us at PAX and you're in chat, just feel free to say hello or just lurk in the background. Oh, I need to sneeze. Probably not a good time to edge highlight. Imagine that. Yeah, we're basically going to be there every weekend. We're not doing an event anyway, Wombat. So whenever suits you, Big Hoss. Your Vulcan looks phenomenal, bro. You should be very proud of it. It looks amazing. Yeah, it looks sick, dude. You've done extremely, extremely well. But yeah, other than helping people paint at PAX, it was good. We did some networking. Whether or not that equates to anything, who knows? Like, we had a chat guy from Oz Comic Con we're already sort of working out things for the next arc. So yeah, that was all pretty good. Just talking to people about their hobby as well, as you know. One of the combos that I remember, because like I'd sat there and chatted to people for, you know, a good 10 minutes, but there was a couple that came up and they looked really familiar because I sort of remember people's faces from events and conventions, but I don't remember names. It's pretty tough. And they came up and they're like, oh, we came and painted models and we saw you guys at DreamHack last year. And immediately after going to DreamHack, they went and got a starter box and they've been hobbying ever since. And they're like, it's because of you guys. And that's like, honestly, that's sort of drives me to continue to do this stuff. Fran, how we doing? Yeah, dude, some of the, I got asked for an autograph. It's the first time I've been asked for an autograph. That was pretty cool. I just need to blow my nose. Give me a sec. I'll mute myself. Thank you for waiting. Way better, way better. Remember you guys when you painted the grates? Mate, it'll be because of you guys if I ever paint with the grate. I had tons of fun, Ben. I had tons of fun. It was awesome. I didn't get to go chat to the guys at the Warhammer booth, so you know, didn't chat to their content creator guy, but just like, if I could do that on a larger scale, you couldn't find him. Nah, that's all right. We were meant to chat to the Oz Comic Con guy as well. But if I could do what I'm doing, but on a larger scale, I would like that. That would be so cool. Like, I get that Let's Play games where they're doing their painting and Warhammer were doing 20-minute Space Marines, but I think with our lighting and more guidance with the paint classes, I don't know. You're more likely to get people to continue to purchase miniatures and stuff. Allison is his mate though, so I gotta bug Allison, do I? I gotta bug Allison. That's all good. We've got Gundam to paint. Warhammer takes a back seat now. But painting's painting. You would if you were me? All right. I'll message Allison. I still remember the first time Allison messaged me on Instagram, and I thought it was I was getting spammed. I was like, this isn't. I was like, you'll have to forgive me, but I get messaged by like people all the time trying to trick me. He's like, no, this is 100% real. I was like, okay, good. That's what a bot would say. It's always hard going back to like my regular day job after doing an event, because I'm like, man, I could do that. Apart from my back hates me. But other than that, I could do that so easy. Like teaching people to paint and just like instilling your confidence into them so that they can paint is so easy. There was one guy that hadn't painted miniatures since he was 8 years old. I'm going to wager his age was maybe mid-20s, maybe 28. And he walked past and he's like, oh, miniature painting. I was like, oh, you want to paint me? He's like, I haven't painted since I was 8. I'm not interested. And I was like, you sure, dude? Like, free miniatures. Now's the best time to get into it. And like, it took him 5 minutes and you could see he was just enthralled in what he was painting. And I was like, dude's back. My fault for carrying so hard? Nah, Marvin does most of the work, I tell you. Marvin does most of the work. Your housemate finished his first. That's all it takes, man. Honestly, you just got to finish one mini, and then it'll just lead to. It'll lead to bankruptcy. Yeah, I'll take credit for the painting motivation. I'm not taking credit for how much money people lose. Like Can You a Kid, yeah, he was back in. Yeah, exactly, Stork. Well, you do that to your friends, don't you? You do what Marvin does and you gift people miniatures and then, yeah, just an enabler. He has 2,000. I'll get him painting 2,000 points. Yeah, it's an interesting weekend, right? Because businesses obviously go there to promote their business and sell stock and all that type of stuff. A Battleforge game is a little bit different, right? Because we're not really selling anything. Like, we'd love to continue to grow on socials and stuff. I think that's probably the best thing for us. But I think we're more there to promote other stuff. Like, the amount of times we sent people to the Let's Play Games area to get Too Thin Coats and Army Painter, speed paints. And then, like, people just loving the miniatures, and we're just like, yeah, it's Pluto miniatures right there. So, you know, for us, it's not really a financial money-making type of setup. It's more about, I guess, helping other businesses, promoting a hobby. Influencing, as it were. Influencing. Like, it's pretty easy for someone to pick up one of our business cards that has a QR code to do a paint class and then just never scan the QR code. Or be like, oh, this is something I'll do, and then never do it. Whereas at an event, they're instantly there. Like, I need a brush. I need paint. I need models. I do need to make some actual business cards, though, with my phone number and email and stuff on, for those times that we do network with some people so they can actually get in contact, because giving them a card and being like, just go to the website, isn't that great? And to be like, yeah, just hit me up. Found a Gundam random secondhand store yesterday. I don't know. I'm not familiar with those suits. I pre-ordered the new stuff as well. I'll be getting the G-Quacks and Iron-Blooded Orphan stuff. I saw someone I hadn't seen for a long time that had been around the Games Workshop store when I first started hobbying. And I was chatting to him about the Gundam stuff, and he was almost certain that I had to pre-order the boxes from P Bandai. He reckons they weren't even going to come to Australia. So I've pre-ordered them, which means I'll get them. But I find it weird that they won't be at a hobby store. I feel like they're going to have to almost certainly be at a hobby store. All in all, though, it was a phenomenal. They should have put tall geese and G-Quacks. Can you imagine what the colors look like of the tall geese and G-Quacks? That would be insane. That would be insane. Yeah, all in all, it was a really, really good weekend. Like, massive, massive shout out to Mark from Pluto Miniatures and Rawdon from House of War, because, like, we wouldn't have a spot if it wasn't for them. Like, I could probably put the money aside. Like I said, like, we wouldn't get any money back for going there, but I could probably put money aside and pay for an area, but whether or not we would qualify for an area at PAX, seeing as how it's run, is another thing. I chatted to a guy about doing a charity event too. So I hope he actually gets in contact. He's like, would you like, he goes, oh, would you want financial reimbursement for the event? I was like, no. No. We spoke about this, Wombat. So the one thing that we got asked for a lot when we were painting, because we were displaying our two thin coats racks because we had to, because that's what Let's Play Games were using for their painting classes. So we just displayed it. We got asked about paints a lot. We got asked about the paint handles that we had. Marvin has 3D printed some paint handles. And I was like, next time, if we're allowed to, we should make a little set that is 2 water pots. There's one that's black, that's for your regular paints. There's one that's silver, that's for your metallic paints. The mini wet palettes and a paint handle. The cost to rent a space at PAX must be absolutely insane. The food vans were selling bowls of chips, right? A bowl of chips. I don't know how big the bowl would be. Not big, but it was $10 for a bowl of chips. Like, insane. Like, yeah, insane prices. Just to try and probably make their money back for the. Yeah, I would have done that too, Lothar, if I could have. There's some guys, some Candia. What's Candia guys? Yeah, I mean, like, we could, I guess, sell paints and stuff. It was so, I think someone just pulled a fire alarm. The thing, yeah, I don't know. Like, it's all a bit, yeah. I need to, honestly, there's one thing I need to do, and we're doing it next weekend, is sitting down with Mark from Pluto Miniatures for dinner, and we're just going to have a big old chat. We're going to have a big old chin wag. Yeah, blessed day. Yeah, exactly. It's like that. It was a PC, was it? Right. It was a overheated PC. One of my favorite parts of the weekend was the last person to sit down and do a class with us. She came up and she's like, "Oh, could I paint a mini?" I was like, "Yeah." It was like 5 p.m. on Sunday. And basically what happens at 6 is they kick everyone out, and then the enforcers walk along and just move everyone out that isn't an exhibitor. So I was like, yeah, it's 5 o'clock. I was like, "Look, you've got till 6. You've got till 6 because then the enforcers are going to come over and they're going to walk through and they're going to kick you out and they're going to kick us out." She sits down and starts painting, and then she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm actually an enforcer." And I was like, cool. Completely just told someone what their job was. Nah, no VIP treatment. No. We sort of got VIP treatment because Marvin's friend was helping us bump out. He was starting to help us pack down the stall. And he didn't have an exhibitor badge, I don't think. But because he was packing up, they were just like, "Yeah, it's okay. It's fine." The whole fire alarm thing was just handled pretty badly, from my experience, for people out the back. Because like a lot of the exhibitors got pushed out the back doors. And we were sort of standing there and they're like, "Everyone stand behind this yellow line." No one was saying shit. They weren't like, "Hey, it was a PC, it was this." No one gave us any information. There's one dude that was just walking around really, really angry, like the grumpiest dude ever. And then they were like, "Okay, we're gonna start letting people in." And they tried to let exhibitors in, and then a couple of idiots were running in that weren't exhibitors. And they were just like super casual. Dude, I would have dropped him. If I was one of those enforcers, I would have just dropped that dude and made an example of him, being like, "Exhibitors are going in first, bro. You can sit your ass down on the asphalt." And I was also saying, and I also said to Mark, to Pluto Mark, I was like, I'd be emailing ASAP for a bit of a refund on your area, my guy, for some lost revenue. Because the Pluto store was pumping the whole weekend. Like, I walked past the Warhammer area and they had lots of people for their paint classes. But I feel like Pluto outsold Warhammer. Yes, Lothar. Yes, the people that stand up and wait in the fucking aisle. My guy. If everyone was funneled out of the plane in a specific order, it would go even faster. Like, you start from the middle of the plane and then you feed out towards the front and the back of the plane. Like, it's just, yeah, I hate that shit. Sit your fucking ass down. Sorry. You found what grinds my gears. It's people. Only to see him waiting for the... Yeah, exactly, dude. Yeah. So how was everyone's 3 days without me? What'd you get up to? Did you guys paint some shit? Did you guys get some stuff done? I did paint one mini because we had like the mornings were pretty quiet. I'd say for the first hour each day it was pretty quiet. We didn't really do a lot, Marvin and myself. So we painted a miniature each so we could use it as an example of what the two thin coats paints can achieve. Which, had I brought the Trench Crusade ones that I painted at Victoria, so I wouldn't have even had to have painted a mini. Spent most of the weekend finishing Vulcan. You would have been heavily motivated too, because you would have been close. You would have been close. Gets to that stage where you have to force yourself to slow down. $50% discount? That's pretty good. You cannot argue with 50% discount. €2K army for 150 euros. What's that? Australian dollars? Like 225 or something? That's still insane. $260. It's still crazy. $266 for 2,000 point army is still nuts. Man, I shouldn't have gone to work today. I need to remember to have the day off after a 3-day event. I was wrecked. And I had a good sleep too. Like I went to bed at an actual realistic hour last night. And woke up and I was like, man, I could sleep. I could have slept all day, I reckon. Luckily I got to finish early and I got a nap in. I did get a nap in. Gotta love a nap. One of the guys that was running one of the card areas came over and saw my Gundam, and he was pretty impressed by them. And we had a chat to him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you should play it." And I was like, "The Gundam Assemble." I was like, "I want to." The rules out. He's like, "No." He goes, "The trading card game." I was like, "Yeah, I like the cards." I don't know if I can. I don't know. I might. Me and Marvin might play some of it. I've played the app. I've played the app. 20, yeah, dude, 20 minutes is nuts. Yeah, 20 minutes is insane. When I was, do you know, when I was leaving on Saturday, this is the type of person I am. I should have opened my mouth. We walked past the Let's Play Games area and I was chatting to Jules, the guy that runs it, and he had some of his helpers there. And I was like, oh yeah, the setup for the Warhammer 20 minutes to paint a Space Marine is nuts. And she's like, the girl goes, it's not that nuts. Have you heard of contrast paint? I should have just been, shut the I was like, dude, I've probably painted more models than days you've been alive. Have I heard of contrast paint? No, I've never heard of contrast paint. Just because people are using contrast paint doesn't mean you can paint a Space Marine in 20 minutes. It take 20 minutes for the contrast paint to dry. Not everyone likes doing entire minis. Yeah, and that's why people, and that's, you know, that's why those people will probably never go and buy more miniatures, because they never finish their miniature. I did not deserve the sass that I got from that comment either. I was just chatting casually to Jules saying that 20 minutes is not a realistic amount of time to paint a miniature. That's all I was saying. I didn't say anything about their store. Would it have been weird if no, it would have been weird for me to just be like, do you know who I am? Because I'm just a fucking dude that paints miniatures. Hook them on the challenge. Yeah. Like some of the people that were helping with the Games Workshop, I know are store managers that are very, very good painters, but I still don't. 20 minutes is not enough time. Mind you, we were letting people sit for like an hour and a half. We ended up getting rid of, we had a Hobbit model. We moved the Hobbit model on because the Hobbit model was too detailed for what we were doing. And every time someone picked up a Hobbit model, I was just like, oh shit, here we go again. Looks like we're in for the long haul on this one. Oh, I get it, Ben. I get it. Yeah, and look, that's how they've changed their model in their stores too, right? It's 100% how they've changed their modeling in stores. I guess it just, I don't know, maybe I've probably got the wrong mindset when it comes to that type of stuff, honestly. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, it's strange. It's strange. Like I want to turn Battleforge Gaming into a business where I can do this like full time. But it's hard to do that when like I'm really, like you said, passionate about helping people improve their painting. that doesn't exactly translate to finances. Where Games Workshop's one, 20 minutes paint this model does equate to money, money, money. Yeah, I go about the thing the whole wrong way. I should be making clickbait. Yeah, blessed it. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, maybe I've got to do... Yeah, I could do clickbait, but it would have to be the right way. It would have to be me going like way over the top, arrogant style. Like, do you want to paint the best Gundam miniatures ever or something? I don't know. I'll work it out. I'll get there one day. We'll get there one day. Eventually I'll cave in and sell my soul or something. Someone was that the metallic green they did on the Chaos Dwarves? Barbatos made you... There's... Chaos have power moles. Chaos have power moles. There's actually quite a few edge highlights on this Sword Strike pack. Maybe the plasma will be tomorrow. I feel like the plasma will be tomorrow. Yo, Mad Cat, what's happening? You had 3 days off. 3 days off for PAX. Marvin would be proud of me. My wet palette is currently wet. The shorts. Yeah, the YouTube shorts. Do you know, I have got that. We've got a video editor now, and I was thinking of getting some shorts made as well. Yeah, do you know one of the most popular shorts that we made was back when Background Mike was doing it, and it was the magnet one. Yeah. Yeah, I think I might Buddha, what's happening, Big Hoss? How you doing? How's that Rebute going? Yeah, I think I'll be chatting to my editor guy and just maybe making some shorter edits of my tutorials. Maybe if it's just like clipping up how to do the Gundam armor and then having a shot of the rest of the Gundam and being like, want to paint the rest? Click on this. And maybe I'll just misname the Gundam, or I'll mispronounce the Gundam name because people fucking lose their shit over that. Maybe I'll say Gundam wrong. Gundam or some dumb shit. The amount of times I've got in trouble for mispronouncing a Gundam's name on stream, especially Kshatriya and Shinanju. Just say it's a Space Marine, yeah. It's a Tau battlesuit. Come with me as we paint this Tau battlesuit in Gundam colors. Rebute's going good. Love to hear it, man. I can't wait to see your finished Rebute. Can't be that far. Can't be that far. Wombat finished his Vulcan. You're gonna finish your Rebute. What is after Rebute, dude? Make sure I repost them in any form. Dude, there's so many people that repost stuff. I tell you, there's a few people on Instagram that seem to use the same content over and over. Magnum the Crimson. Stern Guard. That'll be sick. You gonna get the new Ultramarine bits for the Stern Guard? That'll be cool. Yeah, maybe I'll do like how to paint the Gundam XR78-2, and then people will be like, it's Gundam RX78-2. Simple stuff like that. Whoops. 240 USD for the box. Yeah. Yeah. That sounds about right. Maybe you can just get hold of the upgrade packs though. Surely they'll just be selling the upgrade packs. Yeah, if there is people from PAX that are watching, I don't know if there are people that are from PAX watching, and you did see my miniatures at the front of the desk, and you may have overheard us talking to people, and it was like, yeah, the Legion of the Damned Black Space Marine took 60 hours. Now you can see why. Now you can see why. Run a learn to paint. How so? I mean, you can message me on Insta if you've got any ideas, Ben. Starts at 10 a.m. Friday, 10 spots, and runs for the whole weekend. Oh yeah, at the studio for locals. I could do that. Yeah, I'd love to do that, man. I would honestly love to do that. I have to find the, I mean, they're out there. They're obviously out there. There'd be a specific type of person that would want to do that and lock in. I'd hate to get someone that was like, yeah, that sounds like an awesome idea. And then after day one, they're like, I don't want to do this. I don't need to necessarily do a line across there. I think it'll look good though. Yeah, I gotta get those shorts happening. Do you know, there's sometimes that I sit here on stream, especially when chat's a little bit quiet, and like my mind is just like constantly thinking about stuff. And the like last 10 minutes, it's just been, I gotta do these shorts. We're gonna make these shorts. Should I? I should. Should put this on here. Shower thoughts. Yeah. I basically have shower thoughts the whole time I'm on stream. Yeah, I gotta make Battleforge Gaming Muay Thai shorts, Buddha. What do I do about that join there? Might just paint it in. This is sort of one of the issues with the push fit. Could overglue it. Yo, Heresy, what's happening, dude? What's happening? How'd your talk go? Do you know how many people came over and they were just like, the people at the talk were talking about two thin coats. They're just like, get the yellow glaze, get the yellow glaze. Heaps of people came over and were talking about it. Packed house, that's sick, man. Very cool. Yeah, I could have overglued this, but I sort of wanted to do it separate. I think it'd be fine if I just paint this in. It'll be okay. $16,000 steps later. Oh, you just go for a massive walk around the event. I reckon I did 16,000 steps just in like a 5-meter square the whole weekend. My back started to like lock up and I couldn't stop moving. I was like, if I stop moving, I'm going to be stuffed. So you just came down for the one day. You drove 8 hours, did the one day, and you drove 8 hours home? That is wild, man. That's commitment to the hobby right there. You realize how unfit you... Oh, man. It didn't help that it's concrete, dude, all day. Walking on concrete. It ain't good. It ain't good. You thought, nah. Yeah. Oh, man, I had work today. I shouldn't have gone. I could have slept all day. I'll crash tonight too, I reckon. I reckon I'll just crash. Definitely have to do the plasma tomorrow. Plasma sword ain't happening tonight. Yeah, wouldn't it help carrying shit around all day? So did you actually get some painting done on the weekend? Oh yeah, you were doing busts upstairs or something. Some dude who came by and said, someone said they went up and you were painting busts with someone else. Who was the other person? And he was just like amazed at the speed. Murray, that's right, Murray from Tabletop Time. Yeah, the guy was like amazed at the speed that you guys were painting busts. I was like, it's impressive. I was like, but you got to remember, like, there's some people like, if you've never painted a bust before, you're not going to be quick, my guy. Like, you got to think about how people paint and what they paint and how often they paint. Like, yes, heavy metal painting takes a long time, but if you put me up against someone else that's never done heavy metal before, I'm probably going to do it quicker than them, even though it's a very time-consuming process. But the same goes with busts. If someone's painted busts before, they know how to do all that stuff. Yeah, but it's also knowing how to wet blend, right? Some people have never wet blended before. Like, I rarely wet blend. I do a bit of glazing and stuff. Sort of wet blend on capes, but like wet blending still takes me a long time. So it's that whole thing where people just compare. Be inspired, don't compare. Something sexual about the way I say wet blending or the way Heresy says it? I haven't wet blended for ages. I think the last wet blend I did would have been the cape on my Smash Captain. I think was the last wet blend I did, and that's over a year ago. And even then I used the brush to help, the airbrush to help blend it. That was ages ago, yeah. Yep. Now I typically just glaze. Could these edge highlights finish anytime soon? Yeah. Absolutely, Heresy, yeah. I mean, it's lucky I like edge highlighting. It's actually lucky I really enjoy edge highlighting. I wonder what's going to be... I wonder if I'm actually going to get sick of painting these. I don't know if I will. Clip that. Give you a box Lego or a curve cake. Yeah, absolutely, dude. Give me all the edge highlights. Give me all the edge highlights. The amount of times this weekend I had to say, well, I didn't have to say, but I explained to people, I was like, look, painting heavy metal, the process itself isn't hard. Base coat, recess shade, couple of edge highlights, some dots. You can add a glaze if you want. That's a bit more of the difficult side. It's the process. It's like, sorry, it's the execution. That's the hard part. Refining your edge highlights over time and getting that steady hand. That's the hard part. But like painting the chest piece of a Gundam dark blue and then painting the recess darker blue and then applying two edge highlights, like there's no real nutty sort of Alminister glow crazy tech behind any of it. And hell, most of my stuff is just following box art or lore or anime or a comic or like artwork. It takes a little bit of skill to convert that to paint, but other than that. You aren't thinking to do... Are you thinking Tyranids, Buddha? You've got more Ultramarines to do, bro. And then you were going to do Corn, weren't you? Or has it changed? I'll be interested to see how much you enjoy the change from doing Loyalist power armor to Chaos power armor with trim and inner edge highlights. I suppose you're getting a taste of it with Rabute, really, aren't you? With all his gold trim and his inner edge highlights. Fine, just jump off the base. If you don't want to be on there, don't be on there. You hate the inner edge. Yeah, it's not... I think if you start doing Loyalists and you're not really used to doing the inner armor edge highlight, it's something that feels a bit weird. But is also necessary. Is it necessary? It was super necessary. I'll have to, so this, I think this model will be done in 2 days. So it won't be finished, it's definitely not gonna be finished tonight. And I don't think it'll be finished tomorrow. But I think we'll be done on Wednesday. which means Thursday we're going to start on the Strike Rogue. However, I think I'm going to have to do some test pieces for the pink first. Just want to start on the secondary edge highlights for this light blue, please. I was catching strays all weekend too. The amount of times Mark was telling people that my music sucked on stream, and I was like, dude, if I didn't get copyrighted... I mean, we could not stream on YouTube again. That's a potential. I could not stream on YouTube, and we could just solely stream on Twitch again, and we could bring back Spotify. And I could just continually get warnings from Spotify, which is fine. Oh, sorry, from Twitch. Like, I don't even know how many people we got watching on YouTube. How many people? You can split. Yeah, I'm not smart enough for that stuff, my dude. I legit tried to do it. I actually tried to do it and I was like, this is way too out of my league. Just one of those things, you know. I'm good at painting straight lines. I'm good at painting straight lines and filling people with confidence with their own painting. I'm not good at OBS. I'm competent with it. I'm not good at it though. You just got to pack $1. Yeah, that's what I did from Officeworks, dude. You can just pick some half decent, cheapish brushes from Officeworks to do your metallics. The annoying part though, and it'll probably annoy you the same way it annoyed me, is you want to use your good brush to edge highlight. Has the body come off again? Yeah, keeps doing this. You stop doing that. Is that the playlist? We're just talking about the music and the playlist is finished. I mean, I get copyrighted anyway from this website. It's stupid. It's actually dumb. They advertise it as non-copyrighted. It's so silly. Should get my money back. I should do a Karen. Let me speak to your manager. Yeah, pretty hectic. It's nuts. I had to watch it twice, dude, to understand what was happening. Okay, we can start applying a secondary edge highlight. Finally. Yep. Cool. Let's get that Fenrisian out. All right, let's just film a bit for the tutorial. So next we are going to take some Fenrisian Grey and we're going to use it for our secondary edge highlight. You can use the edge of the brush for some of the areas like this. It's best to move your brush back and forth before making contact. Can't even see it, there we go. However, you will need to use the tip of your brush for other areas. Just a touch too thin. Just a fraction too thin. Also, my paint is too thin. It's diluted a bit too much on the palette, which is making the edge highlights a bit harder to achieve. we're chatting to people about the difference between the Games Workshop paint pots, which are shit, and dropper bottles, which are also shit in Australia because of how they get pressurized. And as you guys know on stream, I had that mishap once. We're chatting to people about that, and Marvin decided he was going to show people that. I was like, thank you for allowing me to relive that moment. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's not something I want to happen ever again. I wouldn't even wish that upon my worst ever hobby arch nemesis. No, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. Even though I don't have enemies. Maybe I do, I just don't know about it. Maybe I do. Ah, fucking convenient timing, Marvin. Hold up. Are you saying you're my enemy and I don't know it? Or I'm your enemy and I don't know it? Do you know, was it Blester that suggested Hoeth Blue? For the base of this? There's a guy that I was chatting to that says he streams, I think he streams 2 times a week, painting his stuff. And he's like, oh, I've done this thing where It was a charity, and people got to pick what colors I painted and what patterns I painted on my miniatures. And when he was telling me, I was just like, that is something that is never, ever going to happen on my channel. I can't do that. I just cannot do that. I could get people to vote on like a model to paint. We could do that, absolutely. The anxiety, yeah, there's just no, I can't like, well, I mean, everything that gets filmed on stream is getting turned into a tutorial. And I can't, yeah, I just can't do that. BFG branding is trying to be law accurate. But speaking of law accurate, when we were sort of working out the blue, people were giving suggestions. I sort of put 3 different colors up. And the end result was Hoeth Blue, which is probably a little bit darker than how this blue appears in some artwork, but this edge highlight, the 2 edge highlights have actually really lined, like look at this to this here already. How much this edge highlight changes the color. It's good. I like it. Yeah, the camera does change the color. Yep. Not so much with the blues and whites. This is actually pretty accurate. But like oranges and reds, it does like it saturates them. It saturates them. Because I think I've got the orange on, although that's not that bad. I think with the ISO set lower, it's actually not as bad. That's fairly accurate. I've had it on settings before where it really, really boosts up the saturation of the reds and oranges. This dumb idiot. That's a bit brighter red on screen than in person. Only a little bit though. That's why they're painted a specific red and orange for TV. Really? I didn't know that. The more you know. I know that we recently wrapped a bunch of boats for Heineken and they were stressing about the PMS colors used because we're using like a preset green and they were just worried if it was going to be way too different. And then we watched the German Grand Prix and they had like 6 different greens on their signage around the track and we're just like, oh yeah, you guys are really worried about your green, aren't you? On these 16 boats that are in the Yarra of Australia. And you've got 6 different greens used across tracks in the Grand Prix. See ya, Buddha. Take it easy, Big Hoss. Keen to see this Rebude done and dusted, man, so you can move on to some stern guard. I should just highlight this. It's gonna look weird if it doesn't. I'm keen for a weekend back at the studio, just painting all day. Yeah, get car fixed so you've got confidence in it again. Yo, Hoon, PAX was awesome, man. Had a blast. Honestly. Networked with a few people, whether that equates to something, who knows. Helped a bunch of people with their first ever miniature. Just chatted with people about their hobby. My favorite one of my favorites, I mean, chatting to everyone was awesome, but there was a couple that came up. I don't know if Ben's still in chat, but they said they saw us at DreamHack and were immediately inspired, and that day after DreamHack they went and picked up a Warhammer box, and they've been doing the hobby ever since and painting their miniatures up, which is absolutely awesome. And look, Games Workshop, if you're out there and you see any of my streams, just know that I'm helping sell your shit for you. Not that you have difficulty doing that, but I'm also helping you. So help an Australian brother out, will you? Send me some shit. Date night is just painting for them now. It probably is, man. It probably is. Can you imagine they're like super busy with work and all that type of stuff, and they're just like, yo, this Saturday you want to just sit down and paint? And they're just like, yes I do. Uber eats a meal. Yeah. Not that I've got any control over this, but if I ever get to the point where I'm spending quality time with someone again, it would be pretty damn cool if they were into painting. Not used to daylight savings. I was thinking about, I was at my mother's for dinner today, and yeah, I left at like 7 p.m. and it was still like bright light. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, daylight savings. We're getting there. We're getting there slowly. Hopefully I don't utterly butcher the pink plasma. I think we should be right. I've got an idea in mind of how I'm going to do it. Don't exactly have the pinks worked out yet. Because this is all Citadel. Citadel doesn't actually have that larger range of pinks. Screamer pink's very nice. Oh, I think we'll be all right. Their light pink's a bit weird. No, we should be all right. I've got some Vallejo pinks that are really, really nice, but I sort of want to just keep it all Citadel. I want to keep it all Citadel until some paint company comes to me and is like, here's some money to use in tutorials. You wanted to get some marking tape. Do you mean to like spray over the top of for like hazard stripes? House of War's got a ton of different like Green Stuff World and I think it might be AK brand tapes that are very good. Another thing that got spoken about, and I think I can speak about it because, I mean, our studio's there. But there's some talks that House of War is going to have a dedicated airbrush setup area where classes are also going to be taken and people can pay for like airbrush hire. And I think we'll be helping with those classes. So I think it's a good move because a lot of people are intimidated by airbrushes and all they need to do is have an airbrush in their hand and give it a go to sort of get over that intimidation. Which is sort of what we'd spoken about with the studio, but we only really have room for, I don't know, maybe 4 airbrushes in the studio. Which I mean, maybe there'd be 2 areas. Maybe we have an area up the top in the studio, which would be better for teaching. And then, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see. I assume it'll take a little bit of time before anything comes to fruition. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you can get the process of using your airbrush down, like thinning your paints and then cleaning and all that type of stuff, it 100% can speed up processes. For sure. Might be time to crack one of my birthday brushes from Marvin. Still looks like it's got a good tip on it. Maybe the paint's just a bit too thin. Yeah, maybe the paint was just a bit too thin. Only the good stuff? Exactly. Get a bigger sword, my guy. Why does this keep moving? Might have to glue it. Man, you lose so much of this like cool chest piece and stuff behind this sword. Cool pose, but very closed off. Well, with the full 360 of this playlist, it means we've sort of come to the end of tonight's stream. We got pretty close to painting all of these edge highlights on the light blue. So the plan for tomorrow is to finish these off. Then we've got a little bit of dark blue to edge highlight. This area here, these areas on the claw shield. And then we've got the pink glow of the plasma. Whoops. Yeah, he just keeps moving. Interesting. I might just glue it. Yeah, then we've got the pink glow of the plasma on the sword. So there is a very real chance that we may actually finish this tomorrow. I did say Wednesday, but we could very well finish this guy tomorrow. So we'll check out and see if there's anyone else on that I feel like raiding. There's Scotty. Powering through. Yeah, we're making good progress. Making good progress. Nah, we'll just end there. We'll just call it a night because I'm going to jump off and yeah, have an early one because I've got work tomorrow. He's looking cool. He's looking cool. I'm excited. I'm also excited to jump into the Strike Rogue because painting a pink Gundam is going to be a lot of fun. Thank you for joining me today, guys, and I hope to see you all tomorrow. Take it easy. Peace.